No, or to the office.
What is pier?
Dermaga.
Oh, dermaga.
Pelabuhan.
Yes. And go to the kandang, stable, cage.
Cave, yeah.
Yes.
All right. Hopefully everything is going well. Okay, someone is joining us. Okay, Kak Akbar, do you have some people to talk with you? Wait.
Sorry.
Kanovita and
Hello.
Katoni are joining us now, so you can go to your room and
All right. Okay. So we have to join like
room 1.
all right. Ayan.
Katoni, you can choose. Oh, Kanovita, you can go to Ka Aken, and Katoni, you can choose you want to stay here or you want to go to Ka Aken's room.
Halo kakak.
Hai.
Saya ini udah berapa orang nih? 4 ya?
No, Kanovita will join Ka Aken, and you can decide. You want to stay or you want to go to Ka Aken's room.
Berapa orang sih yang di Kaken kak? Udah
Belum
berapa orang?
ada, soalnya ini kita baru masuk.
Oh, ya udah deh ke Kaken aja karena kayaknya masih ada 1 orang kan.
Oke.
Oke, thank you kak ya.
Iya. Kanovita, are you there? Hai Kanovita. Oh ya.
Loh.
I don't know what's happened. Sorry, I will send Tony to Kak Aken. Okay. Maybe the signal. The signal. Oh, so actually I have a game today as usual. I don't want to like start the meeting
Ini
directly
muncul
to
lagi.
practice. Okay, Kak Aken, what's wrong? Oh yeah.
Tidak ada orang deh.
Okay, Katoni is already there.
Katoni dia. Oh.
Okay. Oh my God. Okay. Hopefully there is no interruption again. So as you can see that we have a game here. I have 6 number. You can choose a number that you like. And then some words that are related to linking word will appear. And you have to make a sentence based on the word that you choose. So for each slide, you have 3 words, but you have just only to, I mean, like you just have to choose only one. And remember that you have to make a sentence based on the word that you choose. And you can make it into only one sentence, or you can also try to make it more longer by 2 sentences or 3 sentences. It depends on you. All right. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I want to ask.
Mhm.
So the word has to be in the first sentence?
No, not really,
No.
because it's a linking word, so you have to like make sure you put in a proper place.
Okay.
Okay, so from 1 to 6, which number that you like to open first?
I will choose number 4.
All right. Oh, that's great. So you have to begin with eventually and at this time. You can choose one from them.
Okay.
And then try to make a sentence.
Mm. So, seeing the war between Russia and Ukraine now becomes sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, seeing the war between Russia and Ukraine is very sad. But at this time, our country, Indonesia, kind of like couldn't do nothing but support, but giving the support like some other country does to stop the war.
Okay. So the first thing I want to you to notice from your sentence is some other countries does. It's simply like some other countries do, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then if you look at the words that you have here, the words that you have here, to begin with, eventually at this time here as a linking word, it doesn't mean that. So at the moment, what that you do, but you have to, yeah. So I mean, like literally, it means like that. But in this case, at this time is when you want to link the previous level or steps. I mean, like you already provide first steps, and then at this time, at this moment, you have to do something. So it's like to begin with, or eventually, and at this time is what the word that related to ordering something. So you want to like make your information in order. Okay. Yeah. So like to begin
it's to
with,
order.
yeah. So like at this time, you use it when you already provide a first step or the previous step. Okay. So remember that here we are talking about thinking word. Okay. So I will try once again with another card. You
Yes,
can choose the number.
I will choose 2.
2.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, it's pretty easy. Additionally, furthermore, not only, but also. Which one?
Okay.
I think you already know all of them, right?
Yes,
Really?
but wait, difficult to put it on a sentence. Oh, okay. So I believe that to overcome this pandemic situation, not only the government should make some regulation or support, but also the society itself should have a will to make a cooperative behavior with the government, so this pandemic will end early.
Okay. Okay, such a good statement. And you made it. All right. I think because it's only you can choose whatever number here, but you will choose all of them. Eventually.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Again,
will choose 5.
5.
Therefore, careful. Wait. I found some allergen list on my health certificate, and as a consequence, I have to reduce or cut off some ingredients on my daily meals. So the symptom of the allergy will not get worse.
Will not what?
Will not get worse.
Okay. Okay. That's good. Sorry, but about the symptoms, it should be like with S, unless you want to make it only one symptom. A symptom, the symptoms. Okay.
Okay.
Only that. Oh yeah. If you like, I want to ask you, when you get this card, you think firstly in Indonesian and then try to, I'm like, yeah, you try to figure out in Indonesian and then you try, and later on you try to translate into English. You made it
Yes.
this way. Okay, that's harder than if you just know the meaning. For example, like, oh, as a consequence, it's talk about consequences, and then directly you try to make it into English. So because sometimes
It's hard.
it's also happened to me. Like when I try to think first in Indonesian, it kind of harder than if I like directly made a sentence in English. You better to try it. I'm like, you can sense the difference if you try to make it into, I'm like, try to make it directly in English, not translating from Indonesian.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, you have chose, I'm like, you have chosen 4, 2, and 5. So you still have 1, 3, 6.
Okay, I will choose one.
1. All right.
Okay. Wait, I have to search about the topic. What did I say? I absolutely hate to wake up in the morning because I am a sleepy head.
All right. I can tell you are a sleepyhead. Okay, 3 and 6.
3.
Okay, so you have rather than, by contrast, opposed to.
I prefer the cold weather rather than hot weather because in cold weather it will give me more vibes and motivation to sleep more.
What a motivation. Okay, but it's okay. Okay, how if you said like rather than hot weather, I really like,
Oh,
yeah, so you make it more
I prefer,
fancy.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Like you don't have to say I prefer, because when you say
Mm,
rather than
rather
hot
than,
weather, I really no, what? Cold weather makes me blah blah blah. Like makes me easy to sleep. Like you just have to put your main idea directly after rather than hot weather, without using I
mm,
prefer, without using I really
oh,
like. I'm like that's one of the
okay.
ways to make it more fancy. Do you want to try once again?
Okay. Yes. What should I say? How to say opposed to?
Opposed to.
Wait.
Opposed to is same with rather
To,
than and by contrast.
um, opposed to working in a opposed to working as a technical tenaga opposed to working as a opposed to working in a wait
You can
okay, I
explain the
say
word.
yeah,
If you forget the
yeah,
word,
opposed okay, opposed to working in a field area, I love to working in a laboratory because in laboratory I don't have to meet the other people and I don't have to and I don't have to losing more of my energy.
so talking to other people consume too much energy for you. Okay, here is the thing. So, as I told you, opposed to is same with rather than. So you can say like opposed to work in a opposed to work in the field, work in. You can avoid that. So you can just
Oh,
tell your listener by saying, laboratory makes me feel blah 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 comfortable because I don't have to lose my energy to talk to people,
mhm.
talk to more people. Yeah. So like you don't have to repeat the work in as before, from rather than you don't have to like I like blah 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 again, because
Oh,
we already know the ideas. Opposed to this, you will this.
so
Okay.
I don't have to explain the other side.
Yeah, you just
Oh,
have to like explain the main idea.
mm,
Yep.
okay.
All right. The last one. I'll open it without asking you. This is the only one that we have.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, please don't choose the first one. Okay. You can
For
choose.
example,
Yeah. You can choose the second or the third.
oh, okay. So I will. What should I? Wait.
Actually, actually, you can make a story based on those words. So, for example, you already talk about an allergen. Oh, yeah, about your allergy to the food. You can continue it by, when you found another word from the slide, you can make the
Mhm.
the continuous story, the continuous story or statement from your previous statement. So for example, here, you can also talk about like why you don't, or why, no, I mean like why talking to other people consume too much energy for you. So like, I have no idea about that. I want you to elaborate more. So, okay, to illustrate this, I will, to help you understand clearly about that, here is the situation. Here is the example.
Okay, I will go with wait, why it's hard to okay. Um, for the past 1 year, I reduced the sugar ingredients on my daily meals. It's because of my allergen list. So to help us understand more clearly about my allergen list, I would say that the sugar itself gives me some the sugar itself gives me some lactose intolerant. So if I consuming it too much, it will give me some symptoms like itchy and also some a breakout on my face.
Okay,
Breakouts.
so can you say this word again? Where is the chat? Okay.
Would
Okay, so my mistake. And then if I come, you said like if I consuming, it means you
sorry.
forget to use a verb there, a main verb there. So you cannot say, you cannot put verb in directly after subject.
My
So
mistake.
yeah,
Okay.
you have to like what, put a verb, a main verb base, or to be, or yeah, just that, to be and main verb or verb base before consuming or before verbing. So if I consume it, it will cause, not give. I mean like you can choose another word instead of using give, because give is usually related to something that positive. Like yeah, more likely give is related to positive thing. So yeah, you can say like it will cause, it causes something that related to negative impact. All right. Okay, so that's the end of our game today. But do you have any questions before we move to the practice?
Wait. I think we can go first.
All right. Okay, so today we are going to have our part 3, speaking IELTS. I want you to bring back the memory about something that, like some information that I already told from previous meeting. Like I said, you have to pay attention to the keywords because it's really important for you to like help you in paraphrasing your sentence, your answer. And then you have to pay attention to the instruction because it affects the way you have to provide your answer. I mean, like, for example, you have a question started by, what do you think? Or something that do you think? It means you can give your personal opinion and put it on your answer. Okay. But if it's not, you have to be a representative of other people thoughts. So you have to bring a general opinion about that question or about the problem that being questioning. Okay. And then the and the third important thing is about paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is really help you. I'm like, yeah, it is really helping you if you want to get more score, because you avoid a repetition and you show to the examiner that you have what enough range vocabulary. So you have like a broad list of vocabulary. By paraphrasing your answer, you can prove yourself that you are good enough in English. And the fourth thing is you have to try to directly answer the question, and then you give explanation. And if you can make a conclusion, it will be better, because by giving a conclusion, you don't have to say it. I'm like, you can avoid to say, this is my answer, or that's enough for me. When you make a conclusion statement, usually the interviewer or the examiner, they can notice that you're already in the end of your statement. So you don't have to make noticeable statement for the examiner. And then how can you answer the question? You can make a context, or you can directly give a short answer. The short answer, remember, have to base on the question. So for example, like you have a question started by you do, so you have to make sure that the short answer is also use do. If it's used to be, you have to put to be in your answer. So be careful in identifying your question word. And then explanation can be example. It can be elaborating, or you put more information about it. And then it can also be a compare or contrast statement. And another thing about explanation is you can provide data or talk about your experience. Okay, so there is a lot of ways to give an explanation, or further explanation in your answer. So I don't think that you will have a problem a lot with your speaking part 3, because it's kind of free talk, but you have to keep on the keywords. It's not really hard if you compare to speaking part 2. That's from my opinion, but yeah, I don't know. Everyone has their own struggle with its part. So do you have any question before we try to practice? Oh,
I'm sorry. Can you explain it again about the pay attention to the instruction? As you said before, if they don't ask for my opinion, so I don't have no idea, but I have no idea about what the topic is. So instead of giving my own opinion, what should I say? I should say like in general like that. But
Oh.
I don't know about this topic. Like,
Okay, so if you don't know what the topic, you can bring your own context. So for example, I will show you by example. Here we have some question. So for example, the first question, it's not asking you about your own your own opinion about it, but it's so be like general people thought of the question. So how do people in your country feel about art? If you don't really know what it is, you can say, I'm not really sure with people in general, their thought about art, but if it's
Mm.
me as an individual, okay, so you can see the different if I say it like this. I'm like, you can compare. The first one is, I don't know, I'm not sure about general people thought about this, but me as individual. And the second answer is like, I think I think people in my country, they really like to go blah blah blah. So that's kind of different between those two answers. You can sense the difference because
Not
the
yet.
first one because the
Oh,
first one is you already try to tell the examiner that, okay, you give the sign that I know that it should be about other people, or I mean like people in general people thought, but I don't
um,
know, I'm not sure, so I want to talk it based on my individual perspective. That's different to the second answer when you say like, I think
mm,
people, or I think I like to go to blah blah blah. So it means like you talk only about yourself. Okay, so that's the difference.
okay.
All right, another question.
Maybe that's it.
All right.
Can I go to the toilet first before we start? Hello?
Hello.
Can I go to the toilet
Oh,
before we
okay.
start?
Okay.
Okay.
So I think you said like, we go to, okay. So as you see before that, our first topic is about art.
Mm.
So let's talk about art for the speaking part 3. Do you still remember how much I'm like, yeah, how many times, not how many times that, but the length of your speaking for speaking part 3?
Sorry, can you repeat?
The length of your, or the duration of your answer for speaking part 3?
If I'm not mistaken, it was one minute.
Okay, so if you can talk, or sorry, if you can speak in 1 minute, that will be good. But you can just follow the rules, not the rules, but the template, giving answer, explanation, and conclusion. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so the first question is, do people in your country prefer music over art?
Sorry?
Do people in your country prefer music over art?
Well, I'm not sure about this topic, but in general, I think I would I often see that people would I'm sorry, but in my daily activity, I often say that people is more into music, like listening to music, listening to video music on YouTube or Spotify, more than they look into an artwork like painting or crafting. So in summary, I think that people in my country prefer music than art.
Okay.
Sorry.
So if you want to avoid if you want to avoid using prefer music, then again, you can use, I think, so I can say that music is more popular than art.
Mm.
And if you think that music is a part of art, you can also say that. Because some people thought that
Mm.
me as individual, I believe that music is a part of art. So if I have this question, do people in your country prefer music over art? Wait, sorry. Well, is it music? You can make what, like the opening like that. Is it music different to art? As a listener of some music, I think music is also art. So if it's a part of art, I could say that people blah blah blah. It doesn't mean that you talk about yourself, but you want to make sure to the examiner that here I want you to know that music is a part of art.
Mm.
Okay,
No.
so you bring your own context.
Okay.
And then
I'll
oh
try
yeah,
again.
you start with like I forget the exact sentence that you made, but you said this topic. Oh, I'm not really sure with this topic, right?
Mm.
Yeah. This is a question, not a topic. The topic is about art. The one that I
Oh
delivered
yeah,
to you is
yeah.
a
The topic
question.
is about
Yeah.
that.
You can say like, I'm not really sure with this question, but
Oh,
you better not to say that. I suggest you to say that. I suggest you to say, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure about it. I'm not really sure about my thought of it, or I'm not really sure with the information that I will tell you about. You can say that instead of saying, I'm not sure with this topic or I'm not sure with this question. Okay. And then you said like, in my daily activity, okay, I have another, yeah, I have another alternative. You can say, based on my daily experience, because you want to talk about music, right? Not a specific activity. And then
yes.
when you said, oh, blah blah, I forgot the word, the sentence, the whole sentence, but the part of it was, oh, her music on YouTube, on blah blah blah, right? You said that. I think it's probably more suitable with from her music from, because I listen
Oh.
from, right? It's not like on is like watching or look at,
Mm.
watching on, hear from. And try to make a summary without saying in summary. Yeah,
Okay.
because it's only is it a longer answer? I'm like, if you compare to speaking part 1, but in summary, it doesn't match with the context. It is because your answer is too short to
So
put
yeah.
in summary in
Yes.
at the last part. So you just can say like, so, thus, therefore.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. So you can, I already told you. So you can avoid to use what prefer music over art, prefer music to art, you can say that music is more popular. Okay,
Mm.
that's one example of paraphrasing. The meaning is similar, but the way you say it different. All right. Any question before we move to the next?
Let's give
Okay.
another try.
Okay, so what are some traditional art forms in your country?
What?
What are some traditional art what are some traditional art forms in your country?
I could say there are more of traditional forms of art in my country. For instance, there is some in Indonesia, we usually call it a traditional garment as a traditional crafting of of the people, like tenun, and the beside of that, the traditional art could be formed as a music, or as a music like traditional songs, to not sorry and beside that, the traditional art could be formed as a traditional music to express the local language, or to express the local way of thinking.
Okay.
Okay, give
If
me.
it's in Indonesia, if it's in Indonesia, what do you want to say?
I have no idea actually, but
Okay.
kalau tidak salah, bentuk seni tradisional.
Yep.
Ya, bentuk seni tradisional itu bisa berbagai macam bentuk. Yang pertama bisa dalam bentuk, sebenarnya pengen bilang apa ya?
Kain gitu ya?
Iya, kayak mau
Kain
bilang
baju.
kain
You
gitu.
can say
Iya, kain
fabrics.
baju.
You can say
Fabric.
fabrics. You can say clothes as well, because clothes is not usually related to like something that you wear, but it's like a piece of fabrics.
I wanted to say
clothes.
I wanted to say clothes, but I don't think that I didn't think that it is a proper word.
Got you. So actually for the for this question, in your opening, I noticed that I could say it is an example of repetition, because you say it like more than 50% of the question. You start with like some traditional art forms in my country are blah, blah, blah. Like you better try to put a context first, or you can directly answer the question by giving, giving what the short answer. So for example, like what are some traditional art forms in your country? Oh, there's a lot. You just say that, and the first thing that comes to my mind is every part or every regency in Indonesia, my country, they have different clothes, they have different fabrics. For example, in my place, in my hometown, we call it tenun. And then you can move to, and the second one is from music. You can easily find the song with traditional language lyrics to represent each tribe. You can say that. So try to use
represent what?
each tribe.
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 Tribal.
Tribe tulisannya. Tribe.
Tribe.
And you can, if you want to make it like you want to try to answer in a context, you can say, oh, there is an interesting fact about my country, Indonesia, if it's related to art, if it's related to traditional art, because we have a lot of blah, blah, blah. So you don't directly answer the question, but you give a context first. You try to like mix, you try to make a good opening with giving an opening statement. Like you said, oh, that's a fact, an interesting fact about traditional art in my country. And you can say first about what, second about what, third about one, and the last thing about what. Try to use a linking word here. Okay.
Okay, it's hard.
You can do it.
Yes. Okay. Oh my God.
Okay. Next question. It's harder, I think, but let's try.
Okay.
So, how has art changed in the past few decades in your country?
Okay. I could say there is a lot of change. Firstly, we can tell that our traditional garment or our traditional clothes in the past years they use the natural sources for coloring, but nowadays they prefer to use the artificial coloring. And another example from the music field, from the music. Okay, sorry. Okay, for another example, we could see that the traditional instrument in the past years, they were made from the natural resources such as trees, but in the modern ways now we could tell that there are some electronic or metal materials that which used to make a music instrument.
Right. Used to make.
What should I say? Used to make.
If you used to, it's a be verb base.
Oh, sorry.
Like used to make, used to establish, used to produce. Okay. Let me see. Okay, so I try to find the word that can suit your from the music blah blah blah. So maybe from the music sector. Or
Yeah,
you just can
that's
say like
word.
how. And about the music, you can just say that. And then what? Oh yeah, if you think that you are not, I'm like, you don't have anything in your mind. If you get this kind of question, you can say it to the examiner like, I have no idea at all about this because I'm
Mm,
not keen on keen on
I'm not what
the history of art. Keen on. I'm not keen on
keen. Oh,
keen. Wait, where is chat? Chat keen on.
keen.
I'm not keen
But
on.
what's the meaning? I'm not
Nggak
keen.
suka, nggak tertarik,
Like, oh,
nggak pay attention to. It's not my
to-
hobby.
okay. I'm
Yeah.
not keen.
So you can say
I'm
it
not
like
keen
that. The history of art, because it's.
on
I mean, the
story.
question is about how art has changed, right? So it means you have to talk about the history of art, and you can say like that. I have no idea at all about a history of art because I'm not keen on art. That is why I don't have. I'm like, I have no intention to study art more. But if I could say blah blah blah, you can try to like manipulate your answer. So you don't have to talk a lot about that. Oh, and
Okay.
one thing actually, remember for IELTS, there is no right or wrong answer. It is no incorrect or correct answer about your knowledge about the information that you will give to the examiner, but they only what grade your English ability. So don't be worried about their perspective on your answer, about your knowledge of yourself or of your country, but yeah, you just have to say something because it's about your proficiency test. Okay,
Okay.
so let's try once again with the
Yes.
same.
Let's try.
Okay. This question is still about art, but related to art education.
Okay.
Do you think children should study art in school?
Yes, absolutely. I think learning art from the childhood stage will help the child, or will help the kids to develop their creativity mind. And on the other ways, for learning art, the kids could and for the other sorry and for the other ways, learning art from childhood stage could produce more of a brain cell, and it will be good for their growth.
All right. Sorry. I suggest you to try to use linking word
Oh
in your
yeah,
answer.
sorry.
Yeah. Actually, you kind of using it already by saying for the other ways, but I don't think it's a proper way to make
yeah,
what
yeah.
an additional
Oh,
word,
it's
and
not an
then
additional, but
sorry.
it's not an additional linking word, but it's
Uh-huh.
like compare.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
for the another
So
way,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Um, and
Hmm.
but oh, I can give you an alternative to say this artistic mindset. You can say artistic mindset when someone think something based on the view of art. I'm like they are using their imagination. There is a lot of vocabulary that you can use here actually, like imagination. They can be more creative, innovative. They can be more what think something abstractly but meaningfully. Um, and then oh, they can also learn about something that associate to. You can use associate. You can use um, representation because sometimes art is a representation of something. You can also use because one of the intention of the art, you can use intention. Mm, yes, I think that's some vocabulary that you can use here.
And I forgot everything. Okay.
Okay, I will try to give you the same question, but at this time, I want you to try to construct your statement well. Okay, so you have to like organize your statement better than before. Still with the same question, okay, but let's try. All right.
Okay. I already forget my answer. But
No, you can make it differently than the previous answer,
oh,
but you
okay,
just
yes.
have to try to make it more organized, well organized. Okay. So, do you think children should study art in school?
Yes, absolutely. Because I think it is I think learning art can help children to develop their creativity mind. And besides, mm, in art activities, the children could be more imaginative and also, I forget, and could be more imaginative and could create. I'm sorry. Can I repeat it again?
Okay, sure.
Okay. Yes. Absolutely. Because I think with learning art from the childhood stage will help the children to develop their creativity mind. And besides, in the art activities, children will be more imaginative and with using their right brain, if I'm not mistaken, they could produce and be more creative to produce something.
All right. Okay, so if you want to say like creativity, you don't have to put mind after that. I think that's more sufficient, more proper. So like it can develop their creativity. You can omit the mind, and then from like from art activities instead of saying in art activities, because you want to like from this you can do this, you're able to do this, right? It's not like in this you're able to do this, in this you learn this, so you're able to do this. That's how you construct your sentence. But here, because you said in this you able to this, so you can change the in the front of your sentence by using from art activities children are able to blah blah blah. Okay, and then you already use and, but you also put besides after that. That's a double.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you can say like and or besides. You use also that, but also, so you can say like not only they will
Not
develop blah
only.
blah blah, but also they can improve blah blah blah. Okay, and how to help you manage your answer is you can use this template. So do you think, for example, do you think children still study art in school? Yes, absolutely, because it has two main benefits from my perspective. The first one, it can help blah blah blah, and the second one is, oh sorry, and the second is blah blah blah. I know that it is obvious that art has many more advantage to the children, but those two are underlined in my perspective, or those two are the most beneficial based on my experience. You can say that. So try to use a good linking word, try to use a good additional linking word as well. That's helped you to like, because you don't have to think about specific word at a time. When you use a template like that, you can buy time with that. I mean that if you say, I mean like, if yeah, I mean like you can use that word to think at the same time, because it's not a word or phrase that you need to recall, but you already have that in your mind, so you don't have to, like when you say that you think about another thing that could be happen. Yeah, so you can buy time by that. All right,
Okay.
instead of pause for long time, that will be a little trouble for you, for your score, actually not for you but your score.
Yes. Okay.
All right. I still want to talk about art. Actually, I still have two more questions, but
But
okay, I will give you like 30 seconds to think first.
yes. Okay.
So you have to try to construct your answer and try to deliver it the best that you can. Okay, so you have to, yeah, I will give you 30 only 30 seconds to think.
Not 1 minute.
And remember, you don't have to
Oh yeah.
jot it down.
I don't have
Yeah,
to.
you
Yeah.
don't have to write it, you put it on your mind. Okay, so the question is, I will time you, right? My stopwatch. How can children benefit from learning about art?
Oh, sorry.
How can children benefit from learning about art?
Wait.
Okay.
I can think. I couldn't think of everything.
Try to think simple. Okay, you have to answer the question. I give you already 30 seconds for thinking.
Okay, I will try. Okay, in general, there is a lot of ways for children to learning from arts. So I could give you two examples. First, I could say from a fine art, such as painting, children will learn about how to arrange the color or how to put the color to make a good paintings. And the second one, I would say from learning, sorry, I would say from listening into a song, children could add more of could children could add could sorry from for I'm sorry, I used to say like this. For the other example, children could get many vocabularies when they are listening into a song, and it could help them to develop their alliteration.
Okay. So the question is benefit. Yeah. How can children benefit from learning about art? You get it in a half. So you understand it like where the children can benefit from.
But
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know
But
what
here,
is the
like, how
benefit.
can children benefit from? Okay.
Okay.
So you can, from your answer, I could say that you try to bring the idea that children can be benefit from arranging color. You can say that like from arranging color, they can learn about blah blah blah. They can improve their motoric, they can improve their sensoric, and then what's another? Oh, literacy. And from songs, they can learn about new vocabularies. New vocabularies that can improve their literacy. I think it's literacy, not
Literacy. Oh,
iteration.
not literation. Sorry.
Okay.
Actually, my answer or my idea is simple, but I don't know how to arrange or how to make them into a structured sentence.
Okay, so
Into a
now we try to avoid all the rules, all the information that you get from the class. You just have to try to answer it like you pretend we are not in IELTS test, we are in a chat, or we are in a daily conversation, and you try to talk. I mean, like we are talking about that, so you try to give your opinion to me. So you make yourself more comfortable. You don't have to think about the rules, and we can see the difference. If it helps you more, you can do that. Okay.
Okay.
remember that, okay, we are now in a daily conversation. We are now in a, like, only you and me in a conversation, not an IELTS preparation. Okay.
Mm.
Okay, so this is kind of
But I
interesting.
already know that this is the IELTS preparation.
So I will change the vibes.
Okay.
Hey, so Esther, do you think that the government should provide support for art and cultural activities?
Yes, yes, I think so. I think government should support the artists in some ways, such as giving them a building or like a facility for them to make an exhibit to promote their art. And if I could say more, the government should give a protection about the art, such give them a patent, or maybe I could say that the government should make a regulation about the patent, so the art or so the artists wouldn't be worried about their their art could be steal from them.
Oh, okay. I tried to figure out how it could steal. Oh, steal. Okay.
Steal.
I mean, like it's steal,
Mm.
STILL, or steal,
Oh, steal. Oh,
steal,
what
steal,
is the right pronunciation?
steal, steal,
Steal. Steal.
steal, steal. The one is steal. The one is
Steal.
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 I think,
Steal.
yeah, I think it's kind of similar, but yeah, that's only my that's only me that made it sounds different. Okay, okay. Let me see. Mm, Maybe I will ask
Why?
you, what do you think the difference between before and now? Do you spot any the differences?
I noticed that I'm more comfortable because I didn't think about the rules.
Okay,
Like,
so-
I mean, I just go with my opinion.
okay. So that's good for you because you now know that you have to pretend like you are not in a
Like that?
yeah. So yeah, so for the real test, you just have to like, okay, I will talk to this person and I will try to present he or she as my partner, and I will just yeah give the answer as I usually do with my friends. So you don't have like a burden to give what like kind of IELTS answer, but yeah, actually, because you are in an IELTS test, you have to pay attention to the rules of IELTS. But if
Mm,
it's make you like looks not really good under, I'm like uncomfortable and under pressure, you can pretend like you are in the base conversation, in a normal regular conversation with other people, so you can avoid to be in the worst situation. Okay, let's try once again. Okay, so another tip is if you want to pretend other people is your partner, as your regular, I mean like in as you are in a regular conversation,
regular.
you can try to improve your vocabulary, and you can try to from now on, from now forward, you try to use some linking word in your speaking, even with me, like in our chat, you can try to use some linking word so you can be familiar with it and you can make it as your regular base. Okay, you get the idea?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
It's a good idea.
Okay, let's move to it's a hard question. No,
Oh.
not really. Okay, so let's talk about decision.
What decision?
Yeah.
I'm an indecisive person.
That is why I say that this is a tough question because I know.
Okay.
All right. Oh, this is for you. Why do some people find it hard to make decisions? Why you are you a person a part of some people find it hard to make a decision?
Maybe I could say there is because there is so many options, and some people like me should consider all of the option, like the bads and the good things that will happen as a result. And in wait, and what's more, I think because as an overthinker, people usually think too far. People usually think too far. Uh, and people usually think too far about the decision or about the things would be in the future instead of focusing on the present.
Okay. Okay, so here are some alternative that you can use to answer this kind of question. You can say that you worry a lot about the consequences for the first, and then the second one is you insist a lot about, you feel a little bit anxious or antsy about the future, not about being present. Okay, so you can do that. And then here, actually, because you provide two kind of example, you can try to use a linking word, additional linking word here, or other linking word here. You can say the first one is, and the second is, or I could say that the main problem is because what, and another thing is what. I spotted that you use what's the next, or what's the,
What's more?
or what's more,
What's
what's
more?
more. Okay, that's also kind of additional linking word, but not for IELTS. No, sorry, I couldn't say that, but like, yeah, for IELTS you better to use like something that more formal. But because you are pretend like I am only your partner, so okay, you can do anything. But keep in mind that you have to try to build more advanced statement. All right. Oh, another thing is about, if you want to buy time, don't say the whole sentence. Don't repeat the whole sentence. Don't say it again. Like, for example, you said, I forget the exact sentence, but for example, you said, worry a lot about, worry a lot about, worry a lot about. So you make it like twice or three times. Yeah, it counts as repetition, so be careful. You just, if you want to think for a while, you can just
Mm.
say, I mean, um, well, I mean, okay, you can make some kind of filters like that instead of saying again the whole sentence they just said before. Okay,
Okay.
okay, let's
Thank you.
try.
Thank you. Let's try again.
Let's try again. Oh, it
Why?
it relates to us. Okay. How important is it to get advice from other people when making decisions?
Can you repeat what is what
How important is
how
it
important
to get
is
advice from
it?
other people when making decisions?
How important? Well, I will say that to make a certain decision, people commonly have to search the information in the internet and ask an opinion from their friends. For the last thing, I would say that asking a friend will give you a more a more a more complex information about the decision or about the thing you will set. And a friend sometimes asking a friend would give you I'm sorry, sometimes asking a friend who is asking a fr- I mean sometimes asking a friend who has more experience than you will give you a wide insight about the about the things or about the topic that you will make or you will
Okay,
I don't know what to say.
I get the idea actually, but how you
Mm.
deliver your answer is kind of hard for me to follow. Okay. So the question is, how important is it to get advice from other people when making decisions? Um, yeah, I think your idea is only like because other people can give you more insights over the issues that you are encountered, and then they can give you more advice, alternatives, thoughts,
Yeah, those words.
opinions based on their experience, and maybe they will come with another solutions that works for you. Um, mm, yeah, you use insight in your answer. So, but I noticed that you use for the lasting.
Yeah,
It,
yeah.
you say for the lasting. It is for the linking, or it
No,
is
no.
for like for the last moment someone will come to you and give you.
Actually, at the first, I said that there is some ways for people to make a decision. Like one is surf the internet and asking a friend. So I want to
Oh.
mention the asking the friend, but
Oh, so
I
that's a
actually I
linking
don't know.
word. That's
Uh,
that's a linking word for the last thing, right?
but actually, I also feel, I mean, feel confused about about those words.
So so
What is the proper word?
you was trying to say that for the last thing, I will go to a friend like that. Like a friend, it will be the last option for
No,
you to
no,
find the
no,
answer. No, or like
no,
or like the first one is this, and then the last thing is this.
no, no. Okay, 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 okay.
That is why I'm confused. I couldn't like.
Okay, so I used the wrong words.
Oh.
Just cut it off.
All right. Okay. Oh, so another thing is like the first thing is surf the internet. The internet is serving the internet, or is browsing, is surfing, because you already use is. Then the verbs will be in the form of verb ing or verb 3. Okay.
Okay.
I think it will be the last question. No,
Ah.
because we are in the main room, so we can just
Oh yeah.
wait for them.
Actually,
Okay.
I have
Uh-huh.
okay.
Okay. One more question
Later
and then
after
you
this.
can ask. Okay.
Don't choose the hard
Okay.
one.
I want to choose something that hard to think about, but then, well, why is it sometimes difficult to accept advice?
Can I say in informal way?
It's up to you.
Okay. I could say it's because it is something that okay. I'm sorry, I have to say it like this. For me, for example, if I ask some friend, but it's hard for me to accept their advice, it simply because that is the advice that I don't want to hear, or that is because I don't want to face the reality. For some cases, in my friend cases, I could say some people ask their friend or sorry, some people ask their friend for advice, but in fact they don't want to hear the advices, but they just want to be here like that. Maybe this is why it's hard for people to get advice from the friend, but it depends on the case.
I think get and accept is different.
Oh
Get
yeah,
is
sorry,
like,
sorry.
yeah.
Accept.
Okay. When you give the answer, I suddenly think about Jody, right? Yeah.
Oh my yes, she is the one that would never accept our advice.
Oh my God, sorry. Okay, so the first thing I noticed from your answer is um I don't have to say that. I think, sorry, I think I don't have to say that. You better to say like I suppose not to say that, because have to is like you straight with something, but suppose it's like you can be in, you are not really have to or must. It's kind of your choice. You just feel
Mm.
not right to say that, but it's still acceptable. But you better to say this because it's more acceptable. Okay, so that's different. So you better to say like I supposed to say, and then from your ideas, I try to give you some alternatives to say it. Like it's hard to apply. It's hard to apply their situation into my situation and
Yeah.
condition. And then you can also say that for the second one, it's, oh, it's too risky. It's too risky to me. It's too risky for me to take their advice because I don't want to face the reality or the consequence after apply that advices. Okay. I think I mean like, you have that in your mind, but when you want to deliver it, sometimes you find it hard.
Not sometimes, but every time.
That is because you make a lot of hesitation and you like try to rearrange your opinion in your mind and you keep change your sentence. You don't have to actually. You can go with your, I mean, like whatever you have in your mind. Just be mindful that you still talk about the topic, but you can be better. I'm like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, do you
I
have
have to be
any?
better. I forgot. I forget about in what we did in the game about the linking words
Wait,
rather than, by contrast, and opposed to.
mm-hmm.
Can you give me a example? Sorry.
Rather than this
Can you
one.
give me the example again?
Okay.
Yes, about this one.
Mhm.
Like, so I don't have to compare the two sides.
Mhm. Okay. So the first example can be rather than sleeping. Sorry, rather than sleep in the morning, take it in the evening is more beneficial for me. Yeah, that's it. Rather than sleep in the morning, take it in the evening, make me more healthy, for example, like that. So you don't have to like give a long explanation after rather than. And another example can be rather than having rice in the morning, rather than having rice for my breakfast, I think bread is more delicious, more health, yeah, is healthier. Yeah, something like that. You can get the point here.
But if I have to give more explanation, how should
Um,
I put my explanation?
Okay, so if you want to give some additional information after that, you can say, for example, I don't from my sentence, rather than having rice for my breakfast, bread is healthier. It is because blah blah blah. You can
But
explain
the
it is
ex-
because
but
bread is
it is
less
cheaper.
calorie.
Yeah.
It is make your metabolism better in the morning. Okay.
But the example should be the side that we prefer, not
Oh, so I will try to like give you the sentence in a chat so you can look at how it is in a context with rather than what? Rather than having